Half a day students, I am Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. You all have been through a year of big changes. We've had to adapt and make big changes to keep our families and our island safe. But with change comes opportunity and a chance to try new things like PBS University. While Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and I will continue to do our part to keep our island safe, you students have a part to play as well. Your part is to keep learning and to keep up with your lessons. That's why I am happy to see you here ready to learn with PBS University. PBS University is a way to bring a continuous educational curriculum to you while you stay safe at home during this time. To help you keep up with your studies, we asked our friends at PBS Guam and the Guam Department of Education to put together this episode. Thank you for doing your part and have a great lesson.
PBS University is a program by PBS Guam and the Guam Department of Education in conjunction with public school teachers. These lessons are created to provide both parents and students with a unique educational experience while helping students to continue learning at home. PBS University, next on PBS Guam.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come along, let's sing a song. We'll have a great adventure. Today's the day, let's learn and play. We'll have a great adventure. Numbers, letters, science things, all that we can do. Help you deal with how you feel. Share with us too. It's super cool and just like school, our awesome learning adventures. So grab a friend, the fun will end. Our awesome learning adventures. Awesome learning adventures with PBS University.
Kawangarang. That was How Are You in Palawan. Mr. Dallas Reyes here in your airspace for Middle School English Language Arts. And I'm here to help you improve your writing and speaking skills. Let's get started. Now, if you saw the previous episodes for English Language Arts, you know that we talked about sentence structures and how to write paragraphs. For this episode, we're actually going to tie all of those together to go into essay writing. Let's get this going. So now that we know how to create those sentences and use those sentences to create great paragraphs, now we need to go in a larger scale with our essay writing. So first, before we do that, let's establish our main goal for this lesson. Now, our main goal for this lesson is to know how to use our sentences and our paragraph to create a great, effective essay. Right, now that we know our goal, let's get into our first step. Now, our first step, which is very important, just like a lot of things in life, we definitely need to plan ahead. So we definitely need to plan, and plan some more whenever we start this essay. One way to help with your planning is to use what we call graphic organizers. With these graphic organizers, it'll help you organize all of your sentences, your ideas, your notes, and your thoughts, and help you create your essay. Now, one thing I want to remind you about planning your essay is that it really depends on what type of essay you are creating. You have what we call a narrative essay, persuasive essay, research essay, and an expository essay. So depending on what type of essay you need to work on, you need to make sure you plan accordingly. For the sake of this essay, we're just going to practice organizing for a narrative essay. Now, a narrative essay is a type of essay where we just share a certain type of story based on a narrative. The next step after you're done organizing is to actually get started with your writing. In this stage, we call this our drafting. Now, drafting means we are writing down all of our ideas really rough. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to put all those ideas that we put in our organization all onto paper, or for typing, on that screen. Remember, when we are writing that story, we want to make sure we try our best to use our sentences and separate where our paragraph should be. So remember, we should have at least our introduction, our main part of our story in our narrative, and the ending part. Now, I mentioned in a previous episode that some paragraphs can have 3 to 5 sentences. So please keep that in mind when we're creating our paragraphs for our essays, that you might have some paragraphs a little shorter, some a little longer. It really depends on how you structured your organization. Now, after you've done the drafting stage, the next step is to actually go over and double check what you've got things wrong. This part, you probably want to use a friend or a teacher or even your parent or guardian to help double check your writing. It's nice to have a good fresh eye to see if you've got anything wrong, because they might notice something different, or they might add an extra few details to help you out. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Remember, if they do give you a little bit of criticism, don't take it personally. They're just trying to help you improve your writing. You might actually find some things that you're probably missing in your writing. When this happens, don't be alarmed. You could actually go back to your original planning stage and add some more details that you think would fit in your current writing stage. So remember, you could always take a step back, relax, and just add more if you need to. Now that you've done your editing part, it's time to rewrite our essay. In this part, we just add all those either extra information that was added to you, or take out anything that's unnecessary to improve our essay. Now, remember, in this part, it doesn't quite have to be perfect just yet. We could always go back on that past step to revise and double check everything to make sure our essay is a lot stronger than it previously was. So that's one thing to always remember. We can always take a step back whenever we're doing this essay writing. There's nothing set in stone until we get to that last and final step. Speaking of our final step, let's talk about that publishing stage. In that publishing stage, we are preparing our essay to be completely done. This is where we make sure our essays are as perfect as possible and that we don't have any more spelling or grammatical errors. This is where we're ready to have it turned in or presented. Remember those quick, easy steps. First step is our planning stage. We could also call this our pre-writing stage. This is where we plan ahead, and we use all those different graphic organizers that are available to us to improve our writing. Second step is called our drafting stage. In that drafting stage, we're actually writing our essays that we planned out in the essay format that we want to try. Remember to use our sentences and our paragraphs in that drafting stage. After that drafting stage, we probably want to ask a friend, a parent or guardian, a teacher, or you could even double check it yourself in what we call the editing stage. In this part, we just double check all our sentences, our paragraphs, or that other person could double check your sentences and paragraph for you and make any changes or adjustments to improve your essay. After that editing stage, we go back into rewriting our essay. This part, we just double check all of those corrections and we make those corrections in that essay. Now remember, if there's still some things that don't feel quite right, we could always go back, plan again, rewrite it, and have somebody else double check it to see if it's okay. Finally, when you think there's nothing wrong, we hit to what we call our publishing stage. In that publishing stage, we are preparing our essay to be completely done and perfect. And that is how you write an essay. Just a reminder, there's different formats for our essays, but these rules still apply for all of them. So, for PBS University, my name is Mr. Dallas Reyes, reminding you to please be safe and be kind.
Hapaday Todes Hamzu. That means hello everybody in the Chamorro language. Ina Anhusi, Miss Bermudez, welcome to PBS University, and thanks for joining me for your middle school math moment. Today's topic is equivalent fractions. No, don't go. I know I said fractions, and sometimes fractions are scary, but I promise you, this will be good. Okay, so say it with me. Ready? Equivalent fractions. Fantastic. Once again, we have a friend who's having a real-world math problem, and we're going to help our friend using equivalent fractions. All right, so are you ready? Cowman listu Hamzu? Okay, let's go. Hey guys, we're here at LP Antolon Middle School, and we have a friend.
Hi, my name is Tobias.
Hey Tobias, so I know that you have a math problem. Help us understand.
So, I took a test, and I got 8 out of 12 questions correct. So I took a second test to try to improve my score, and I got 7 out of 8 questions correct. And I'm having trouble figuring out if I did better or worse, or the same on my second test.
Okay, let's go ahead and summarize the problem. So on your first test, you got 8 out of 12 correct. And then the second time you took it, you got 7 out of 8. And he's trying to figure out, guys, did he do better? Did he do worse? Or did he do the same? So Tobias, to solve this problem, you need something called equivalent fractions. Can you say it?
Equivalent fractions.
Fantastic. Let's go learn a little bit more about that.
Before we can help Tobias with his math problem, we have to learn more about equivalent fractions. Let's go ahead and begin with some simple definitions. Equivalent fractions are two fractions that represent the same amount. The numerator is the top number of a fraction, and we will also need to know about the denominator. If the top is the numerator, then the denominator must be the bottom number. Okay, fantastic job. Now that we have some definitions down, let's go move on to an example. We're going to take a pizza and cut it into 2 slices, 2 very big slices. And we're going to go ahead and focus on just one of those slices, and I think you recognize that as 1/2. Now, we're going to take the same exact size of pizza, but this time we're going to cut it into 4 slices. There we go. Now, in order to make it the same size as the first one, we're going to mark off 2 out of 4 slices. It looks exactly the same, except the slices are cut a little bit smaller. Now we have a third pizza cut into 8 slices. So how do we mark off half of this third pizza? If you said 4 slices, that is correct. Now I want you to notice that pizza 1, 2, and 3 are the same size, but they are cut into different sized pieces. However, if you mark it off for 1 out of 2, 2 out of 4, and 4 out of 8, it actually equals the same amount of pizza. That's what it means to be an equivalent fraction. Now let's go solve the problem. Tobias has 7 out of 12 questions right on the first test. Then you'll also recall that he has 7 out of 8 questions right on the second test. So his question was, did he do better, worse, or did he do exactly the same? Let's go find out. Here we have a picture representation of how he did on his first test. We have this circle cut into 12 pieces representing the 12 questions, and we colored the 7 correct green to represent the fraction of problems that he got correct. Now for his second test, we take the same size pie and we slice it into 8 slices, and we color 7 of them to represent how many he got correct. It is pretty obvious that in test number 2, there's more green than there is in test number 1. So what does that mean as far as how well he did? Did he do better, worse, or the same? You can tell by the amount of green in test 2 that he did better compared to test 1. So if you said test 2, great job, you got that correct. Now What does all of this have to do with equivalent fractions? In other words, how do we solve this using equivalent fractions instead of drawing all these pie graphs? Let's go take a look at the first test again. Tobias got 7 out of 12 correct, and that's one way to look at it. But if we take the same circle and we cut the slices even smaller, we can see that 14 out of 24 is actually the exact same area of green in the pie as 7 out of 12. That's because 7 over 12 and 14 out of 24 are equivalent fractions. All you need to do is multiply the numerator by 2 to get 7 times 2 is 14, and the denominator by 2 to get 12 times 2 is 24. And they are, in fact, equal to one another. Now we're going to do the same thing with test score number 2 to convert it into an equivalent fraction. Now we're going to take the score of 7 out of 8, and we're going to take the 8 slices and cut them into smaller but equal sizes. So now we have 21 out of 24. And you'll notice the green area takes the same amount of space. That's because if we multiply the numerator 7 by 3 and the denominator 8 by 3, we get 21 over 24. And we see that 7/8 and 21 over 24 are actually equivalent fractions. They are equal to one another. Now that we solved for the equivalent fractions for the test scores, let's go ahead and compare them. We're going to take the original picture first of all. Those are the original scores, and we're going to replace them with a picture of the equivalent fractions. So now you can see that 14 over 24 compared to 21 over 24 is less, meaning Tobias did much better on test number 2 than he did on test number 1. Congratulations, Tobias, you did it. Now, let's go ahead and go back to our friend and let him know what we figured out.
So, based on our lesson, Tobias, what did you learn about equivalent fractions?
I learned that 7/8 is greater than 8/12.
That's right. So did you do better, worse, or the same the second time around?
The second time, I did better.
All right, fantastic job. Thanks you guys for helping us. We did it.
Thank you for helping me solve my problem.
Thanks for helping me and for helping our friend to solve their real-life math problem using equivalent fractions. I hope you come again soon. And until then, I want you to stay safe and to stay curious. Adios.
Ali, that means hello in Palauan. Welcome back to Science with Miss Andrada, where I teach you middle school science from PBS University. Today's topic is on weather tools. Have you ever went outside and paid attention to the weather? Some days it could be really hot, or really rainy, or really windy, or feel like there's no wind at all. But did you know we can actually measure the weather using weather tools? Yeah, so cool. There are 4 different weather tools that we'll be talking about today, which are thermometer, wind vane, rain gauge, and anemometer. A thermometer is used to measure the temperature. It tells you how hot or cold it is. There are 2 sets of numbers. One is for Fahrenheit and the other is for Celsius. To show the direction of the wind, we use a weather vane or a wind vane. It can be used to show us if the wind is coming from the north, south, east, or west. Can you guess what tool we use to measure the amount of rainfall? Do we use our hands? No, we use this tool called a rain gauge. A rain gauge measures the rainfall. As rain falls, it fills up the gauge and it can be measured. And lastly, we use an anemometer to measure the speed of the wind. It captures the wind in spinning cups, and that's how an anemometer measures the wind speed. Let's go do a quick check. Point to the anemometer. Correct. Now point to the wind vane or the weather vane. Correct. Okay, now point to the thermometer. Correct. Okay, now point to the rain gauge. Correct. Wow, you're so good at this. Are you ready for another pop quiz? Okay, so my question for you is, what tool would you use to measure the direction of the wind? Correct. We would use a weather vane or a wind vane to measure the direction of the wind. It will tell you where the wind is coming from, whether it be from the north, south, east, or west. Now, what tool would you use to measure the temperature outside? Correct. We would use a thermometer. It tells you how hot or cold it is. Now, what tool would you use to measure the rainfall? Yeah, that was easy. Rain gauge, correct. Last question. What tool would you use to measure the speed of the wind? Correct. We would use an anemometer. Wow, that was a lot of weather tools that we just learned about. But today, we'll just focus on anemometers, which again are used to measure the speed of the wind. But hold up, I just want to make sure that you know how to spell anemometer. Can you spell anemometer? Correct! Anemometer is spelled A-N-E-M-O-M-E-T-E-R. Anemometer. Wow, that was a really long word. Now, can someone use anemometer in a sentence?
I know. It was very windy today, so I used an anemometer to measure how fast the wind was blowing.
Wow, that was a really good sentence. Good job, my student. It looks like we're ready to create our own anemometer. To make an anemometer, you will need a pencil, 2 straws, 3-ounce cups, a thumbtack, and a pair of scissors. Start by making a hole in the bottom of the cup using a sharpened pencil. Then poke 4 holes on each side of that cup. It should look like this. Then just insert the straws in each of the holes just like this. And you want to make sure that they're even. Then go ahead and get another paper cup and poke 2 adjacent holes. Now insert the straw in the 2 holes that were just made. Now get another cup and repeat. As you can see, I'm poking 2 adjacent holes and then I'm going to insert the straw. Then get another cup and repeat again with the 2 adjacent holes and then insert the straw. Finally, get the last cup and repeat the steps again. Put 2 adjacent holes and insert the straw. When you're done, get the pencil and put the eraser end through the bottom of the cup and then just secure that with the thumbtack or the pushpin. Great job! You just finished making your own anemometer. Now let's go put this anemometer to the test. As the wind blows, the cups rotate, making it spin. The stronger the wind blows, the faster it spins. Wow, this anemometer was so cheap, but still effective. Let's go summarize everything that we learned today. We can measure the weather using weather tools. A thermometer is used to measure the temperature, how hot or how cold it is. A wind vane or a weather vane is used to measure the direction of the wind, whether it be north, south, east, or west. and rain gauge is used to measure the rainfall. And lastly, an anemometer is used to measure the speed of the wind. And that's all we have time for. Hope you had fun learning today. See you next time on Science with Miss Andrada.
Hafa students, welcome to PBS University. My name is John Fernandez, and I'm the superintendent of the Guam Department of Education. These PBS University lessons are made to help you to continue learning. The teachers here prepared fun lessons on science, character education, math, English, and more, and they made it for you, the students of Guam. We're very grateful to them for their instruction. We are also thankful for you students, parents, and guardians who are watching. Remember, stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you soon in the next school year. Thank you.
Ali, and welcome back to PBS University. Ali means welcome or hello in Palauan. And today we're going to experience a little bit of the Palauan culture. We're going to travel a little southwest of Guam, and we're going to check out some things of the Palauan culture. And hopefully we get to experience my favorite, which of course is the food. We've talked about that. I love food. That's the best part of culture because you get to eat it. But remember, there's all kinds of other things. There's traditional things. There's language. There's skills. So come with me today. We're going to go to Palau. Come on.
Hi, my name is Abrahamson Takeshi, and I am 27 years old. My ethnicity is Palauan Japanese. Practicing Palauan culture is very important because it's an aspect that is been given throughout the years. It helps define who you are and how you are as a person. Everything that you do, it reflects upon your culture, and culture is something that if you don't practice, it might die out in the future. So that's something that we got to keep in mind. Okay, so I'll be talking about the Palauan hot bath, which is called the Omasur. They have two different types, which is the traditional and the modern. But for today, I'll be talking about the modern traditional bath. So with the modern traditional bath, the individual who gave birth to a child will go through a process which takes about 5 to 7 days. Within those 5 to 7 days, they have to go through what is having them covered in ginger and hot water. So pretty much they're going to get splashed with the two to help with the stretch marks itself, and that would help them prepare for the last day, which is on the 7th, which deals with the coming out in traditional modern style, which consists of the coconut bra and the skirt itself. In the old tradition, the individual won't have a coconut bra, but still have the skirt on as well.
Wow, that's super new to me. That's super interesting. That's the whole reason why we're doing these videos, is to show different cultures and different ways that things are done. I've never seen that before, and I've never been part of that. And that, to me, that's amazing. I love seeing those new different things. Our next thing, though, is a little more familiar to all of us. It's soup. So we're gonna go eat again. I love that part of it. It's my favorite.
Ali, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Selene Higa. My friends and family call me Loy. Today, we're going to cook a simple Palauan dish called Berdakal Mal, the chicken soup. I say simple because these are the only ingredients we're going to need. The chicken, the salt, water for your broth, and this special ingredient called titim, the amra leaf.
Ali, we're here with Loy. She made us the soup, and we're gonna eat it. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Let's go. So we're gonna add our rice in, and then we're gonna add our soup in, because we're hungry.
Say that word again.
Hungry.
What is this soup called?
Oh man.
Berdakal Mal.
Berdakal
Mal.
Berdakal Mal.
Yeah.
I'm close. That's close.
You're there. Okay, so that's your chicken.
Looks good. Smells so good.
For their soup, I'm sorry, some of the titim leaves.
Titim?
But yeah. Titim.
Titim.
It's called amra leaf in English and libas in Tagalog. Libas. There you go. And there's
Thank you.
Donni.
Let's
that?
go without first, and then we'll try it in there. That's so good.
It's good for this weather.
Oh yeah, with the rain, it's such a good soup. Now, how often would you make this kind of soup?
Oh, okay, so this is more, it's comfort food for us Palauans, and we cook this at least once or twice a week. This is very easy to make. Like I said, just chicken, salt, and titim. And you can find this anywhere in Guam.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Nice. So you guys can make it at home too. You saw the recipe. It's super easy. Pretty fast. And it tastes good. On rainy days like today, perfect for this.
It's tangy, right?
Yeah, it's good.
It's almost like sinigang.
Oh, yes.
Also.
See, culture. Culture has language, it has food, and they connect with other cultures as well. We have the leaf is in English is alim?
Amra.
Amra. And you also said it in Palauan and in Tagalog, and same with the soup, in English, Palauan and Tagalog. So language is always part of culture, and so is food. Salong, which means thank you. So, so long for watching. I appreciate all of you guys being here and watching these videos. And again, the question is, what are you doing to keep your culture alive? Get out there, learn the language, eat the food, find a traditional skill, perfect it. What are you doing for your culture?
Hello, buenas and happy day. In the Tagalog language, we say, Magandang araw. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome to PBS University. Guahu si Mrs. Paulino here for your character education. For the next few episodes, we are going to explore the 6 personal attributes that help build a good character and eventually lead to a social-emotional life. In our character education lessons, we will use these Lati stones to represent the virtues that help build strong character. Let's review. Lati stone Angokutun is trustworthiness. Lati stone Respetu is respect. Lati stone Responsabilidad is responsibility. Lati stone Justicia is fairness. Lati stone Inadahin is caring. Lati stone Maulik Kultura is citizenship. In the previous weeks, we learned about the 2 pillars of character. Today, we are going to examine the Lati stone Responsabilidad, which represents responsibility. Responsibility is the state or fact of having duty to deal with something or having control over someone. Other words that relate to this is authority, control, power, leadership, engagement, influence, and duty. Responsibility is the state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something. It is the opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. What does responsibility mean to you? Let's hear from our students.
Responsibility is to act independently without anyone telling you to do something. An example of being responsible is turning in your work on time, getting to school on time, and being prepared for school.
Responsibility is doing the things you are supposed to do without being told. An example of being responsible is doing your chores without anyone having to tell you what to do.
Responsibility is doing the things you are supposed to do and accepting the positive or negative outcome of what you have done. Responsibility is one of the traits of hardworking and well-rounded people.
Responsibility is usually when it's not always about like taking care of someone or something. It's not always about where it is, when to use it, or when to put it away. It's usually about showing that you're independent and you can do anything by yourself, like without somebody asking you, like, can you help me with this? Or somebody, or you asking them, can you help me with this? It just shows you that you can do things on your own and that you're willing and you're responsible to do it.
And what are other responsibilities that you have at home or for school, or even your responsibility for your community?
Community, like picking up trash and not doing graffiti, vandalism, stuff like that. Just messing up property that isn't your own.
Being responsible means others depend on you. You are accountable for your actions. When you make a mistake or something goes wrong, you take responsibility and make things right. Being responsible also means that you have to do your best at the job given to you. As you get older, you may be given more responsibility because of your growing abilities and trustworthiness. How do you practice responsibility? Taking care of yourself, doing and completing chores, taking care of one another, doing best in school and completing your assignments, helping and volunteering to keep our island clean, and be a good citizen wherever you go. Lattice-stone responsibilidad also takes time to develop and build as you get older, wiser, skillful, and more confident, just like it takes time to build the foundation of a house. Not everyone is expected to do or be responsible with the same things, but the one you are given is because you have earned a person's trust. In the book of Luke, and as restated by President John F. Kennedy, for those to whom much is given, much is required. Thank you, and Dangkulo na si Diyos Maasi for learning with me about Lattice-stone responsibilidad. Continue to practice responsibility for yourself, others, our island, and our country as we explore another pillar of character on our next episode as we help each other build responsibility, build character. See you next time. Adios.
And now, Famagun, we're going to learn about places in the community. In Chamorro, lugar siya gi komunidad. Let's have some fun, Famagun. In Chamorro, adimina means riddle. Riddle. Pay close attention and listen to our adjectives to help you guess the place in the community. Adimina. I am a place that people live in, has bedrooms, and come in all shapes and sizes. Hapatsu na lugar. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. A house. A house in Chamorro is guma. Guma. Maulik Famagun. Adamina, Adamina. This next one you should know. I am a place where students are learning. There is a teacher and a playground to play with my friends. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. I am a school. School in Chamorro is escuela. Escuela. I love learning different things in my escuela. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that people love to lay in the sand under the sun and go fishing. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. The beach. Beach in Chamorro means Kantan Tasi. Kantan Tasi. I love playing at the Kantan Tasi. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that has a teller. People put money into their account and has a vault. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. A bank. A bank in Chamorro means banku. Banku. That is so great. Save some money in the banku. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that has doctors, nurses, and people go to when they have an emergency. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. A hospital. Hospital in Chamorro means espitat. Espitat. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that people go to when they are going to buy a plane ticket, use a passport, go to when it's time to travel. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. The airport. Airport in Chamorro means Plasan Batkunaiti. Plasan Batkunaiti. Do you love to travel? Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that people go to buy candy, chips, and soda pop. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. A store. Store in Chamorro means tenda. Tenda. I love going to the tenda to buy me some chocolate candy. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that has swings, slides, and monkey bars to swing. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? That's right, Famagun. A playground. A playground in Chamorro means Plasan Humagandu. Plasan Humagandu. My favorite part of the Plasan Humagandu is the monkey bars so I can swing as high as I can to feel the wind blowing in my face. Adamina, Adamina. I am a place that people go to when they get in trouble, has cells, and has policemen. Hafadzut na lugat. What place am I? Yay, did Nancy Famagun? Correct. A police station. A police station in Chamorro means Estación Policia. Estación Policia. Awesome job, Famagun, for learning our lugat siya gi comunidad. And that's it for today, Famagun. Don't forget, lugat siya gi comunidad. Guma, escuela, Kantan Tasi, plaza, banku, espitat, plasan Batkunaiti, tenda, plasan Humagandu, sagan manamko, san, estación Policia. Si Dios maasi, adios.
facts. Fast, fun facts with Mr. Ernest Ochoco.
Buongiorno. That means good morning in Italian. Hi everyone, this is Mr. Ernest Ochoco with another fast fun fact. And today we're going to discuss pizza. Who doesn't like pizza, right? Well, let's talk about the origins of pizza first. Did you know that back in Egypt and in Rome and in Greece, they were eating flatbreads, kind of like pizza flatbreads, right? And they had oils and garlic and herbs on it. Well, it's kind of similar to what we call focaccia today, but that's technically kind of like a pizza. But the modern day pizza was definitely created in Italy, in Campania, where the city of Naples resides. Well, that is when they decided to create the pizza because peasants or poor people needed something easy and fast to eat. And so they would put meats and cheeses and vegetables on a flatbread to consume because it was cheaper to do that. And that was the modern day pizza. So that is your fast fun fact with Mr. Ernest Ochoco. See you again next time.
Hafaday students, I'm Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio. For more than a year now, you all have continued to wash your hands and watch your distance from others, and you've done a really great job wearing your masks. We know your parents and guardians have helped you to make these changes to keep yourself and your community safe. As Governor Leon Guerrero said, we are happy you are here. We want you to continue to learn and sharpen your skills with the help of PBS University. This program is the result of a collaborative effort. We couldn't do it alone. I'd like to thank the teachers and support staff of the Guam Department of Education and PBS Guam for their work and their commitment to our students. I'd also like to thank you students for participating at home. To your parents, I'd like to thank you for taking an active role in your child's education. We are all eager to return to a time when all of us can share and study together in person. Until then, we hope you learned something new from this PBS University instruction.